All right, Brain. You don't like me and I don't like you. But let's just do this and I can get back to killing you with beer.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Glasson, joined by
Jabron.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
Hey, we got to stay hot.
We do.
You know, we talked about the Saturday games in the divisional round. Now we got to hop on over and continue this ride to Sunday's matchups.
Let's go.
And let's just start with the Eagles-Rams.
Eagles-Rams, baby.
2 o'clock kickoff on NBC/Peacock. Last week, the Eagles took care of business and knocked off the Packers. Kind of put them in their place, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did.
Winning that 22-10. And then on the other side, the Rams, this was the most shocking game to me of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Vikings just totally Viking themselves.
Yeah, they really did.
Wow, 27-9. You know, I just thought, I didn't think Minnesota could ask for a better scenario.
Nope.
You know, our hearts are out for everybody and the fires and everything else that it's going on in California and L.A.
It's insane.
But that was a huge distraction, and the L.A. Rams didn't even get to have their home game in the playoffs.
We had to play in Arizona.
I just thought too many things, and finally, Vikings, it's your time, right? You can get one. No, not the case. Falling to the Rams, 27-9. So let's get into this Rams-Eagles matchup. This is going to be your 2 o'clock kickoff on NBC. This line opened up at -6, a square 6. Philadelphia is your favorite. Now I'm seeing a lot of 6.5s out there.
Mostly, yep.
Yep, a lot of 6.5s. Your total has been bet down quite a bit to 43.5.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because the Eagles like to control the game, run the ball, and even when they can score, they'll just take a knee. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the cover.
I think Saquon Barkley has a lot of... sorry, guys. I know all those anytime touchdown bets were plentiful.
Especially with him.
Geez, and you still could have scored. This game was in hand. But anyhow.
It was. It's okay.
Oh, but what are your initial thoughts here? Philadelphia 6.5.
Yeah, my initial things is the Rams beating the Vikings was a case of L.A. taking on a regressing team playing their worst football of the season, more so than the Rams, playing good football.
Okay.
That's how I felt watching that game. I just felt really bad for the Vikings fans out there. Had a stellar season. But you could tell these last couple weeks going into the playoffs, you did not like where they were. You didn't like where they were going to be. Yeah. I think they're playing their best football around, week 8, 9, 10.
Nobody expected them to be where they were.
Nobody expected them to be there, but nobody expected the Rams to be here either. So it's
10-7's more unbelievable than 14-2.
Exactly, exactly. I'm just saying everybody expected the San Francisco 49ers to be in this spot,
right.
But it's worth noting right now that the guy that you're just talking about, Saquon Barkley, racked up a blistering 255 yards against the Rams when these two teams met in the regular season. I've seen no indication that the Rams have solved that issue. Philadelphia is too complete of a team, the Rams to deal with. Yeah. I believe they smoke them. I love the 6.5 going Philadelphia's way.
Yeah, it's that offensive line, right?
Of course.
Shout out Cam Jurgens. Shout out
Jurgens.
They'll pride of Beatrice.
Yes.
No, but really, they will play bully ball and they'll push around that defense. Yeah. I know the Rams have had a pretty good defensive line over the years, but AD is gone.
He's gone.
Let's call it what it is. And A.J. Brown, he's just going to keep reading his inspirational books, his motivational books throughout the game. And when he does that, I guess look out.
Or go to sleep or whatever he does. I do have a play on A.J. Brown, but I'm going to keep it into my underdog plays here. He did miss practice on Wednesday and having only one catch for 10 yards last week. So I don't think he's going to be so much of a factor. But, Andy, the Eagles are 9-1. At home, including last week's playoff game. They do not lose at home, and especially to this on and off again L.A. Rams team. Quarterback Matt Stafford threw for 250 yards in 7 games this year, but hasn't gone for more than 220 in his last 4. He is not playing his best football right now, and that's what they need him to do. If the Rams have any shot of winning this football game, it's going to have to be Stafford, it's going to have to be Kupp, and it's going to have to be Puka. And they are going to have to put up huge numbers like the numbers you saw him doing when they won the Super Bowl or when they made the Super Bowl.
Right. And it does feel like Philadelphia has kind of gotten better. Well, obviously they're 14-3 overall, so they've been pretty darn good all season long. They're exactly where we expect them. But do you expect them to win by a touchdown, by 7 points?
I do. I expect the Eagles to win by probably more than a touchdown, if not two.
Wow.
There's
an easy path to that. Not an easy, but
I
clear
do believe,
path.
and I believe that the ground game for the Eagles and that offensive line and the best player in the NFL, Saquon Barkley, to smoke these fools.
So it makes sense that it got bet down to 43.5 because you're not expecting much out of the Rams offense.
No.
But what kind of an output are you thinking of for the Eagles offense? Is it still the under, still the hot play, even though it's been bet down 2.5, 3 points?
Yeah, I don't know, Andy. This is a teeter one that I'm catch myself thinking that the over could hit just because, what if Stafford does get an early touchdown and gets that offense moving a little bit, and the Eagles kind of have to save face and score a lot of points.
Saquon, don't take a knee.
Yeah. And
run it in.
When these two teams met, when Saquon went off for 255, the score was 37-20. So that would go way over this, total. So I do believe there is a way, in the way that the Rams defense is showing little resistance. I believe the over is the play to do. So I will side with the over.
All right, over we go.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the nightcap.
Woohoo!
This one is going to have all the
Let's
eyeballs.
go.
Here we go on CBS, the Bills versus the Ravens. Last week, I split these games. Got the Bills. They covered easily over the Broncos, 31-7. Really put it on the Denver Broncos. But the Ravens kind of beat up on the Steelers.
Yep.
I thought the Steelers could hang in there. They were just outclassed. They were outmanned. You just saw
superstarred. Everything
across the board.
Outcoached.
28-14 outcoached. But it really shows you why this is a 2-3 seed. And this line has had some crazy movement.
Yeah.
Buffalo was your 1-point favorite. Now they're your 1.5 point home dog.
Yeah.
1.5 home point dog is what I'm seeing on a lot of books here.
Yeah, I think by the time this kicks off, Andy, it's going to be a pick 'em. This is insane. These are two of the best teams. This is the type of feel you want for a divisional playoff game. These are two of the best quarterbacks. Literally doing 1 and 2 in MVP right now. Josh Allen first, Lamar Jackson, close behind him in second. Like you said, Andy, the Bills dominated the Denver Broncos. There was little to no resistance from the Broncos in that game. But I do believe the more the more impressive win is the Ravens beating up a divisional opponent like the Steelers in the way that they did.
Yeah.
I just don't believe, Andy, that the Bills have their run defense ready for King Henry and Lamar Jackson. The last time these two played, Andy, Derrick Henry had 24 carries for 199 yards.
It was a bloodbath.
It was a bloodbath, Andy. This is insane.
I mean, that was week 4.
It was.
And let's see here. I want to get this score right. Yeah, 35-10. Cook only had 39 yards rushing. Josh Allen only had 180 yards passing, one of his lower outputs of the season.
Yeah.
And Baltimore I remember that game. They just pushed them around.
They did.
And they were really picking on their linebackers. But Milano was out.
He
was out that
Bernard
game.
and Taron Johnson were all out for the Bills defense. The defense is near full strength now this could be a good game, Andy. I just believe Lamar finally gets that AFC championship and pushes his way to, into that game against Mahomes, see if he can get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'll counter that with this is a home playoff game in Buffalo, and if I'm a Buffalo fan, I'm thinking if it's not now, when is it?
Right.
Josh Allen is playing at an elite level. And there's all these cybermetrics, when you get into second, third level stats that show you just how valuable he is to that team, and if he doesn't play well, they lose. That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it.
Baltimore can overcome Jackson having a bad game,
Yeah,
or Derrick Henry only rushing for 100 yards.
Right.
Like, they can overcome those things. They have a better defense.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I still like the Ravens to cover.
Yeah.
Going on the road, covering the 1.5 right
I
here.
just love that this is the game before the game, Andy. This is we're literally getting
This could be the Super Bowl.
We're
for
getting
real.
literally an AFC Championship game before the AFC Championship game. Like,
Yeah.
who wants to do this next week against Kansas City? That's what I'm looking forward to. It's going to be so awesome. And I am going to bring a few stats in here, Andy.
Oh, let's hear it.
The Derrick Henry at 95 yards rushing at underdog right now is, I believe, insane. He should be well over 100 for the higher or lower. I'm plugging
What,
way
he have
over
86
95
yards on one play last week.
Exactly.
One play.
And 199 against them in week 4. So I just believe that's my surefire for the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, Lamar Jackson to get in the end zone is another one. So, but I think a lot of people are downplaying James Cook in this game. So, like you said, didn't have a very good output in week 4. I believe he bounced back in this game and has a really good showing. And I'm going to throw one of those at you in the last segment for underdog.
That total has stayed right there at 51.5. It does feel like throughout midway through the third quarter through the fourth, we're going to see fireworks.
Yeah.
I could see this over hitting.
I do believe the over does hit, Andy.
Yeah.
Like I said, these two are going to leave it all out there. Both quarterbacks are going to be trying to score points. And, I believe the over hits, and it's going to be one of the funnest games that we have seen thus far in this NFL playoffs.
I would have to agree.
Yeah.
There's a horn. That means we're up against it. But let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is Underdog, where you can win while watching your favorite NBA players and games. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats, get it right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your entry. Download the Underdog app. New customers get up to $1,000 in bonus bets or bonus credits instantly. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.